Spicy Toast Gaming here, and we have some patch notes to cover today. Really exciting, a lot of cool stuff in here, including some champions. If you guys enjoy the video, definitely like and subscribe, and let's just get into this. So I'm only going to briefly cover some of the new stuff added. I'll go into more detail when it comes to anything directly related to Path of Champions. Here we see Ceaseless Sentry, a 2-cost, 2/1 Last Breath, draw 1. All around good card, decent effect. The Generous Gemcrafter, so 3-cost, 2/3. When you play a spell, grant a random ally in hand 1/1. This could be amazing for certain builds, especially someone like Varus or Master Yi. Blocking Badger Bear, a 3/4/4. I can block units with Elusive. Really good stat line for just a 3-cost, and then being able to block elusives. This could be really nice in some paths, especially ones that have a lot of elusive units, obviously. Banana Blaster, play, deal damage equal to my power to a unit. So this could be great for someone like Bard, and that's kind of where it is focused at. Priestess of Desert Light, round start, deal 4 to me, draw champion. If your deck started with 6+ different champions, summon it instead. Probably a card you'd never want to pick up for Path of Champions. It's just too expensive, and then normally you're not going to have 6 different champions in your deck unless you pick up like the level up legendary power. Formula, draw 2, refill your spell mana for 6-cost. Decent, especially if you could get this in a shop for less mana. Winter's Touch, get a empty mana gem. Enlightened, I cost 1, draw 1. It's fine. That's, yeah, really all I can say about it. Skulking String Puller. Attack, grow other allies' power to mine this round. So a little too expensive. You probably won't really ever want to grab this. But this would be really cool for them to add to like an Elise deck and maybe make it a bit cheaper. Serene Skysinger. When I'm summoned, reduce the cost of spells in your deck by half, rounded up. This is too expensive for you to generally ever play, but this could be pretty good if you got it with Poro Fluff It, so it's a 1-cost. That'd be pretty good. Mischievous Mari. When you play a spell, summon a Powder Keg. Meh, that's not the best. It could be decent, it's too expensive for its cost. If this got down and you were doing a spells-based build, especially with someone like Annie, where you have a lot of aggressive spells, could be decent, but generally you're not really going to be able to play this much. Alright, Riven. Level up, I see Blade of Exile in hand. Now level up, you've created the Blade of Exile. Alright, so this is just going to make it a little bit harder to level up Riven, especially in Path of Champions, since sometimes you can actually just get the Blade of Exile yourself already made. So this is just an issue where you actually have to create the blade yourself. Silvering Vanguard, it's now an effect on play. The difference between a play and a summon effect. So a play effect is you actually have to play it from your hand, whereas a summon effect, if you summon it from a random card, so if you have a card that summons a random unit, and this is the unit that got summoned, now it's not going to make that double unless you actually play it yourself. Alright, card buffs, Stem or Steam. He goes down to a 4-cost, but a 3/3. And so he has his normal effect of when you summon a husk, when I'm summoned, summon a random husk. But now he also has when you summon a 1-cost ally, grant the strongest enemy vulnerable. So that's a nice bit of utility. This will be an interesting change for Evelynn, as this was her most expensive card and kind of a game finisher, but now he's going to be on the board a lot earlier, especially if they don't change his item, because his item is the stopwatch that every round his cost gets reduced by 1. So you'll be able to play this a lot earlier. Domination, so going to a 2/2 instead of a 2/1. Again, a nice indirect buff to Evelynn, because these are both cards that start out in her deck. Alright, so this is now changing region, which doesn't matter to us. So it goes from play, discard a card to create a random multi-follower in hand, to play, discard a card to create another random multi-region follower and reduce its cost by 1. So a slight bit of a buff, but never really play this in Path of Champions. So Mistfall, when I'm summoned, draw an equipment. Then the first time each round an unequipped ally is equipped, refill 2 spell mana. This could be decent for some builds. Never actually played with it myself. Wrath of Echoes, just going to a 5-cost. Round end, for each ally that died this round, grant all allied copies of it everywhere 1/1. So this could be pretty good for some builds, especially ones like Misfortune or Gwen, where they're summoning ephemeral units that are going to die every round. I've seen this in game, never actually picked it up. Faults of Healy, just going to a 4-cost. Card nerfs, Reveler's Feast, now going from burst to focus speed. So that's a little sad. Always wanted to use this for a Vlad deck. Sadly, they haven't added Vlad to the game in time. Atrocity, going from fast to slow. This is actually going to be a big deal for Gwen. This was a great backup win condition. Sad that it's going to slow. You'll no longer be able to respond when the enemy open attacks. Wandering Shepherd, going from a 2/2 to a 2/1. Little bit of a nerf for the Jax starter deck. Honestly, though, I almost never played Wandering Shepherd, so shouldn't really affect you too much, I wouldn't think. Ravoon, Daylight Spear, going from a 5/6 to a 5/5. That is pretty sad for the Leona deck, as he's a core part of it, and you normally don't want him to die at all, so made him a little bit squishier. A bit sad. I'm going to ignore all of this other stuff. Path of Champions, new champions available, Thresh and Nami. So really interesting that they're adding champions in this variety card pack. I hope they keep doing that in the future. Not too sure if that's actually going to be the case. Hopefully this is going to be what's going forward, where we're getting champions in the other updates they're doing, not just during expansions. That would be quite nice. It'll be interesting to see how they integrate Thresh and Nami. I believe Nami was a champion in Path of Champions 1.0, so be interesting to see how they change her. I will be getting both of the champions, looking through their star powers, and putting gameplay up for them. So if you want to see that, definitely check out the channel. We'll be putting that up as soon as the patch goes live, which should be tomorrow. All right, that wraps things up. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Definitely subscribe so you don't miss any videos, and I hope you all have a great day.